Often referred to as New York City's sixth borough, Yonkers is a city along the Hudson River that borders the Bronx. Once a major industrial hub that produced the first elevators, helping advance skyscraper construction, it's now known for its revitalized waterfront overlooking the New Jersey Palisades, its parks, colonial architecture, and its historic racetrack and casino. In today's video, we'll explore the history of Yonkers from its origins as a Dutch settlement to the modern city it is today. Yonkers is located in Westchester County, New York, about 20 miles north of New York City. With a population of about 211,000, it is the third most populous city in the state. It takes roughly 38 minutes to reach by train from New York City's Grand Central Terminal. Long before European colonization, the area was home to the indigenous village of Nepekemack, inhabited by Lenape and Mohican tribes. The land was purchased in 1639 by the Dutch West India Company, and it later became part of a 24,000-acre land grant that included present-day Yonkers and parts of what is now the Bronx. The land was owned by Adrian van der Donck, a Dutch lawyer and landowner who had considerable influence in the colony of New Netherland. Dutch-born merchant Frederick Philipse I later purchased the property and was granted a royal charter establishing the Manor of Philipsburg, becoming the area's first lord. The estate eventually grew to more than 55,000 acres, stretching north to the Hudson River in the Hudson River Valley. A stone manor house was built in 1682, and it served as a stopover along the Hudson River between Philipse's home in New Amsterdam and the northern portions of his estate. By the mid-18th century, the property had become one of the largest estates in the colonial north and relied heavily on enslaved labor. The Hudson River served as an important trade route, and grain and cornmeal produced in the region were exported internationally. At the outbreak of the American Revolutionary War, the Philipse family supported the British due to strong economic and political ties. As a result, their land holdings were confiscated and auctioned off after the war. Over time, the area developed into a small farming community producing peaches, apples, potatoes, oats, wheat, and other agricultural goods via the Hudson River. The construction of the Hudson River Railroad in 1849 ushered in a new era of economic growth as manufacturing began to dominate the local economy. In the 1850s, the Otis Elevator Company opened the world's first elevator factory in Yonkers, enabling modern skyscraper construction. The facility, which grew into a massive complex employing over 1,300 people, introduced critical safety standards like brakes and locking mechanisms. Later in the 19th century, the Alexander Smith & Sons Carpet Company expanded to 45 buildings and employed more than 4,000 workers, making Yonkers one of the world's leading carpet manufacturing centers. In 1898, Yonkers joined Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island in voting on a referendum about whether to become part of New York City. While consolidation passed in several areas, Yonkers ultimately remained independent. In the early 20th century, Yonkers became the site of a major technological breakthrough. In 1907, chemist Leo Baekeland invented Bakelite, the world's first fully synthetic plastic. It was manufactured in Yonkers for decades and widely used in electrical insulators, radios, telephones, and automotive components. During World War II, the city's factories were converted to produce military supplies, including tents, blankets, and tank components. However, after the war, increased competition from lower-cost imports led to the gradual decline in manufacturing. When the Alexander Smith Carpet Company closed in the 1950s, the city lost one of its largest employers and entered a prolonged economic downturn. As manufacturing declined, Yonkers increasingly evolved into a commuter city. Neighborhoods such as Crestwood and Park Hill became popular with New Yorkers seeking suburban living while maintaining easy access to Manhattan. The manufacturing sector saw a brief revival in the 1980s when Kawasaki Railcar Manufacturing opened a plant in the former Otis Elevator factory. But the city soon faced a major political and legal conflict. In 1988, Yonkers gained national attention after backing out of an agreement to build public housing in the eastern part of the city. A federal court ruled that the city had violated previous housing desegregation orders and imposed daily fines until construction moved forward. Eventually, the city complied, but the financial impact was severe and led to cuts in city services. Around the same time, public school enrollment fell sharply as many families moved to surrounding suburbs, weakening the city's middle-class tax base. Yonkers' fortunes began to improve in the early 2000s as new residents and businesses began returning. More than $5 billion in private investment has transformed the downtown area with new mixed-use developments, transit-oriented housing, and waterfront revitalization. Its location just north of the Bronx has positioned Yonkers as an affordable, high-amenity alternative to New York City. Former industrial buildings are being repurposed, and a massive 20-acre waterfront development called Hudson Piers recently opened. The project includes 7 residential and commercial buildings along a 1.5-mile pedestrian esplanade. Yonkers has also become a popular destination for film and television production, creating hundreds of jobs and supporting local businesses. Another major economic driver is Yonkers Raceway and Empire City Casino, which underwent a $225 million renovation in 2006 and a $50 million expansion in 2013. In 2019, the historic racetrack was purchased by MGM Resorts International. The city's abundance of parks is also a major draw. Untermeyer Gardens is an historic landscape park dating back to the early 1900s that's centered around a walled Persian garden overlooking the Hudson River. There is also Tippett's Brook Park, which covers more than 160 acres and features an aquatic complex, tennis courts, baseball fields, hiking trails, and a scenic pond. Finally, Van Cortlandt Park, located along the city's southern border, spans over 1,000 acres and includes playgrounds, sports fields, dog runs, barbecue areas, and nature trails. The historic Van Cortlandt House Museum, dating to the 1700s, is located within the park as well. And if you want to learn more about the local art and history, the Hudson River Museum is a popular tourist attraction. Housed in an 1800s mansion overlooking the waterfront, it showcases 19th and 20th century American art, exhibits on regional history, as well as science exhibits and a planetarium. And the Philipse Manor, built in the 1680s, is now a protected site and open to the public as a house museum with exhibits interpreting the lives of indigenous people, colonists, and slaves. The history of Yonkers is one of constant change and resilience. From its beginnings as a Dutch colonial state to its rise as a major industrial center along the Hudson River, the city has played an important role in the growth of the New York region. Today, with revitalized neighborhoods and a growing waterfront, Yonkers continues to evolve while honoring its rich past. Well, that's it for today's video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.